Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news live at 9 p.m. I'm Bhawna Nayar. Let me take you to the top news, the headlines first. Youth of Jammu and Kashmir no longer carry stones. They have laptops now, says Union Home Minister Amit Shah in Rajouri. Assads Gujjar, Bakarwal and Pahari communities will get reservations in the state. 29 climbers trapped in avalanche in Draupadi's Danda Peak in Uttarkashi district, 8 rescued. Relief work continues on war footing. Nobel Prize for Physics announced. Scientists Ale Aspe, John F. Clauser and Anton Zeilinger awarded for contribution to quantum mechanics. Russian parliament ratifies Ukrainian annexation. Ukrainian President Zelensky signs decree ruling out direct peace talks with Putin, calling it impossible. And Durga Puja and Mahanavami celebrated across the country. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. And now some important news at a glance. Amid disengagement along line of actual control, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary says IAF keeping eye on activities of Chinese Air Force. Defence Minister RAJNATH tells IAF to mount rescue operations in Uttarakhand to help trap mountaineers from Nehru Mountaineering Institute in Uttarkashi. Election Commission to propose that political parties detail the cost of promises made ahead of assembly or national polls. Prime Minister Modi praises South Western Railways for sculpture made from plastic and PET bottles at KSR Bengaluru station. Price of essential commodities, especially edible oils, has declined in September, says government. SBI warns against freebies, says they have huge fiscal cost and cause inefficiencies by distorting prices and misallocating resources. Institute of Company Secretaries of India celebrates 54th Foundation Day in New Delhi with the theme Building Governance Ecosystem for Sustainable Growth. CBI arrests Russian national for allegedly hacking software platform on which JEE Mains 2021 examination was conducted. Australia Central Bank raises rates to a 9-year high of 2.6%. And US President Joe Biden expresses concern over crackdown on peaceful protesters in Iran, says perpetrators of violence will face consequences. And the top story of the day, Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated and laid foundation stones of various developmental projects worth rupees 1,960 crore. Amit Shah said that in 70 years of independence, only 15,000 crore rupees had been invested in Jammu and Kashmir. However, 56,000 crore rupees have been invested in the Union Territory since 2019. Targeting the opposition parties, he said that earlier the delimitation was for the benefit of only 3 families. He added that for the first time after independence, there has been a real delimitation in Jammu and Kashmir, due to which the people of the hill regions got their rights.
3 परिवारों के शासन ने जम्मू कश्मीर को देश के बाकी के राज्यों से हजारों किलोमीटर पीछे विकास के मामले में छोड़ दिया था। और ये जो हजारों किलोमीटर पीछे छूटा हुआ जम्मू कश्मीर था, उसको 2014 के बाद नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आज लगभग सबके बराबर लाने का काम किया है। ये मैं मानता हूं जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि।
Big message coming in from Union Home Minister Amit Shah for Jammu and Kashmir. He also said today that post-abrogation of Article 370, J&K has emerged as the most secured place. He said that the militancy-related incidents are at an all-time low in the Union Territory. Addressing a massive rally in Rajouri, Amit Shah said that stones in the hands of the youth have been replaced by laptops. He also announced that Gujjar, Bakarwal and Pahari communities in Jammu and Kashmir will get reservation benefits. Shah said that the central government is committed to taking J&K to new heights with all sections of society, including Gujars, Bakarwals and Pahadis on board.
आज तक आजादी के 75 साल में कभी भी इतने पर्यटक जम्मू कश्मीर में नहीं आए हैं। जनवरी 22 से लेकर आज तक 1,62,00,000 पर्यटक हमारे जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर आए हैं।
On the occasion of Mahanavami, the Union Home Minister offered prayers at the famous Mata Vaishno Devi temple located in Trikuta mountain in Jammu and Kashmir. He was accompanied by Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha and Union Minister Jitendra Singh. The central government has designated 3 terrorists under the Lawful Activities Prevention Act. The Home Ministry designated Hizbul Mujahideen's chief launching commander Shaukat Sheikh as a terrorist under UAPA. Apart from this, Imtiaz Ahmed Kandu of Hizbul Mujahideen has been added in the terrorist list under UAPA. He is involved in terrorist activities in the Kashmir Valley and inciting youth to become terrorists. Apart from this, Habibullah Malik of Lashkar-e-Taiba has been declared a terrorist for radicalizing Kashmiri youth. Moving on, 10 mountaineers were killed in an avalanche at a mountain peak in Uttarakhand's Uttarkashi district this morning. Home Minister Amit Shah has condoled the deaths in the tragic incident. Uttarkashi Disaster Management Officer Devendra Patwal said 8 of those trapped were rescued by their team members. A team of 34 trainee mountaineers and 7 instructors from the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering was caught in an avalanche while returning. Teams of NDRF, SDRF, ITBP and mountaineers from the INIM have launched rescue operations. The Chief Minister also spoke to Defence Minister RAJNATH Singh on the phone and sought the help of the Army in expediting rescue operations.
मिला है जहां जिला प्रशासन, NDRF, SDRF और सेना की मदद के लिए भी हम लोगों ने आग्रह किया था। सेना ने भी अपनी मदद देने के लिए पूरी तरह से माननीय डिफेंस मिनिस्टर साहब से बात हुई थी। उन्होंने भी सेना के लोगों को कहा है, सभी लोग बचाव के कार्य में लगे हैं, भगवान से प्रार्थना।
The CBI has carried out searches at 105 locations across multiple states. The raids were carried out under Operation Chakra against cyber criminals involved in financial crimes. Over 300 suspects are under the scanner. The searches were conducted along with the police forces of the states and union territories. The CBI seized Rs 1.4 crore in cash and 1.5 kg of gold from one of the locations in Rajasthan. The action came after inputs from the Interpol, FBI, Royal Canadian Mounted Police and Australian Federal Police officials said. The Election Commission has asked political parties to provide authentic information to voters to assess the financial viability of their poll promises. The Commission has proposed amendments in the Model Code of Conduct to ensure that manifestos should reflect the rationale for the poll promises. It said that this will ensure transparency, level playing field and credibility of promises. In a letter to all political parties, the poll panel has sought their views on the proposed amendments by the 19th of this month. India's rank in the Global Innovation Index has risen from 81st to 40th, President Draupadi Murmu said in Ahmedabad on Tuesday. She was speaking after launching her Start, a platform for women entrepreneurs created by the Gujarat University. The president called the platform a bridge for budding entrepreneurs with government schemes and private funds. President also laid the foundation stone for various projects related to education and tribal development at Gujarat University in Ahmedabad. Praising Gujarat for its developmental model, the president also said that if all states continue to grow at this pace, India will emerge as a developed country in this Amrit Kal.
राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 के तहत भी भारत को नॉलेज सुपर पावर बनाने का लक्ष्य तय किया गया है। गुजरात ने अन्य क्षेत्र के साथ साथ शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में भी उल्लेखनीय प्रगति हासिल की है। पिछले 2 दशकों में राज्यों में स्कूल ड्रॉप आउट की दर 22% से घटकर 1.37% हो गई है।
Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary has said that recent developments on the world stage underscore the need for strong military capabilities to meet any challenge. The Air Chief was addressing a press conference ahead of the Air Force Day on October 8th. He said that in future wars will be more technology-driven, which is why the IAF is trying to be more empowered with innovative experiments. The Air Chief Marshal further said that the activities of the Chinese Air Force are being closely monitored. The withdrawal of troops from the areas along the line of actual control has begun. This year, Air Force Day will be celebrated in Chandigarh, in which 74 aircraft, including single-engine, MiG-21 aircraft, fighter and transport aircraft will display their capabilities.
The armed forces in general and the Indian Air Force in particular will continue to remain a linchpin in the national security matrix, both as a coercive deterrent as well as a war-winning instrument. Over the years, the Indian Air Force has proved its capability across the entire spectrum of conflict, ranging from peace, no war, no peace, and conflict situations. Traditionally, wars were fought on the land, sea, and in the air. Today, newer domains of cyber and space are increasingly affecting the conduct of operations, even in the traditional realms.
And now a look at some other key developments from across the nation. To meet the travel demands ahead of Diwali and Chhath Puja, Indian Railways has decided to run 179 special trains with 2,269 trips. Special trains have been planned to connect major destinations across the country on railway routes like Delhi-Patna, Delhi-Bhagalpur, Delhi-Muzaffarpur, Delhi-Saharsa, etc., Minister of Railways said in a statement. Payments through Unified Payments Interface UPI has crossed a milestone of Rs 11 lakh crore in September, as per the data released by National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI). During the month, 678 crore transactions in volume terms were done on the platform launched in 2016. Payment through UPI had crossed Rs 10 lakh crore in May this year. B.D. Mishra today took oath as the new governor of Meghalaya at a function in the Raj Bhavan in Shillong. Mishra, a former brigadier of the Indian Army, has been serving as the Arunachal Pradesh governor since 2017 and was given the additional charge of neighbouring Meghalaya. He succeeded Satyapal Malik, who completed his term as the Meghalaya governor on October 3rd. The condition of Samajwadi Party founder and former Defence Minister Mulayam Singh Yadav still remains worrisome. He was admitted to the hospital last month complaining of shortness of breath and low blood pressure. At least 7 people died and 7 others were injured after a collision between an auto rickshaw and trailer truck on the Mumbai-Ahmedabad National Highway near Air Force Station Darjipura in Vadodara. The President and the Prime Minister have expressed grief over the accident. The Prime Minister has announced ex gratia. Time for a very short break here. Lots more coming up on the other side. You stay tuned to Sansad TV for more updates.
The India Startup Story. Powerful ideas. Dynamic solutions. Innovation, enterprise. Its success and challenges. Packed in a brand new show, The Journey of Startups, only on Sansad TV.
The glorious journey of India's 75 years of independence, protection of rights, ensuring equality, to empower, to deliver justice. Laws that have defined India and its people. Laws that everyone should know. Watch 75 years. Laws that shaped India. With me, Hemant Batra, only on Sansad TV.
The only show of its kind that tries to demystify diplomacy and make complex international issues understandable to everyone. I am Vikas Swaroop, and every week I bring you a new dispatch from the front lines of foreign affairs. We talk to the best experts who enlarge our understanding of foreign affairs and show us why the world matters to India and why India matters to the world. So keep watching Diplomatic Dispatch only on Sansad Television.
Nature and You, the Environment Series, aim is to awake and aware people to protect our environment, be it climate or wildlife crisis, depletion of ocean resources, waste management issues. Only on Sansad TV.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching the news. Thank you for staying in. Time now for all the updates from the Russia-Ukraine war front. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday. The Prime Minister asserted that there can be no military solution to the Ukrainian conflict. He also underlined that endangerment of nuclear facilities could have catastrophic consequences. The Prime Minister reiterated the importance of respecting the UN Charter, international law, and the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states. The upper house of Russia's parliament voted today to approve the incorporation of 4 Ukrainian regions into Russia. The Federation Council unanimously ratified legislation to annex the Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia regions of Ukraine. Russia's lower house, the State of Duma, had approved the annexation on Monday. The documents will not go back to the Kremlin for President Vladimir Putin's final signature. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has signed a decree ruling out direct peace talks with his Russian counterpart, calling it impossible. The move came after the Russian parliament ratified agreements on annexing Ukraine's Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk, and Zaporizhia regions. Earlier on Friday, Zelensky said that Kyiv is ready for talks, but not with Putin. Meanwhile, Kremlin said that Moscow will wait for a change in Ukraine's position over peace talks. The Russian army hit Kramatorsk in Ukrainian-controlled Donbass with an S-300 missile today, damaging 5 houses and injuring some residents. The Ukrainian National Police said that the missile struck a residential neighborhood in the early morning hours and reported no dead in the aftermath. The Donetsk Regional Police Administration has in total reported 40 objects destroyed or damaged by Russian military attacks in the region between October 3rd and October 4th. The European Union summoned Russia's envoy to condemn and reject Moscow's illegal annexation of the Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk, and Zaporizhia regions of Ukraine. The EU's diplomatic service said that the bloc has urged Moscow to reverse its unlawful act and unconditionally withdraw all its troops from the entirety of Ukraine's territory during Monday's meeting with Russia's charged affair, Kirill Loginov. The EU said that it will never recognize this illegal annexation by Russia. More than 2 lakh people have been conscripted into the Russian army since Putin announced partial mobilization of reservists. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said that the training of the personnel of the formed unit is carried out at 80 training grounds and in 6 training centers. The bodies of Russian soldiers were lying in the streets of a key eastern Ukrainian town after their comrades retreated on Saturday. The Ukrainian military collected their bodies of their soldiers today, and the cleanup efforts began in the recently liberated city of Lyman in Donetsk. However, reports say they did not immediately remove those of the Russians. The US will soon deliver 4 more of the advanced rocket systems to Ukraine. The high-mobility artillery rocket systems known as HIMARS will be part of a new USD $624 million package of aid to Ukraine. This will make the total number of HIMARS delivered so far to 20. The latest aid package is also expected to include other ammunition and equipment for Ukraine's troops. And now news from other parts of the globe. North Korea today fired a ballistic missile over Japan for the first time in 5 years on Tuesday. Sirens rang out across northern Japan early on Tuesday morning, and residents were urged to take cover and trains were halted as a precaution. Take a look at this report.
Japan on Tuesday condemned North Korea's firing of an intermediate-range ballistic missile over the country for the first time in 5 years, which forced Japanese authorities to issue evacuation notices and suspend trains. It was the most significant missile test by North Korea since January, when it fired an intermediate-range missile capable of reaching the US territory of Guam. Japan and South Korea both called security meetings to discuss the launch. The launch triggered alerts from Japan's national warning system in areas across the north and the east of the country. Citizens were urged to take cover indoors or underground while the missile passed over its territory before falling into the Pacific Ocean. It said it did not use any defense measures to destroy the missile, which was the first to fly over past Japan from North Korea since 2017. Tokyo said the missile's 4,600-kilometer range may have been the longest distance traveled from a North Korean test flight. The latest launch was Pyongyang's fifth in 10 days. TV Asia, citing an unnamed government source, said North Korea might have fired an intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM, and it fell into the sea some 3,000 kilometers from Japan. The test prompted East Japan Railway Company to suspend its train operations in the northern regions. The latest launch was North Korea's fifth in 10 days amid military muscle flexing by the US and South Korea that conducted trilateral anti-submarine exercises last week with Japanese naval forces. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
The 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics has been jointly awarded to Ali Aspect, John F. Clauser and Anton Zeilinger for experiments with entangled photons and their work in pioneering quantum information science. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences announced the awards on Tuesday. Here's the report.
3 scientists jointly won this year's Nobel Prize in Physics on Tuesday for their work on quantum information science that has significant applications, for example, in the field of encryption. Alan Aspect, John F. Clauser and Anton Zeilinger were cited by the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences for pioneering quantum information science. While physicists often tackle problems that appear at first glance to be far removed from everyday concerns, tiny particles and the vast mysteries of space and time, their research provides the foundations for many practical applications of science. The prizes carry a cash award of 10 million Swedish kronor, nearly 9 lakh US dollar, and will be handed out on 10th December. The money comes from a bequest left by the prize's creator, Swedish inventor Alfred Nobel, who died in 1895. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And a roundup now of more international news in Global Wrap. South Korea and the United States Air Force conducted air drills in response to North Korea's latest intermediate ballistic missile launch. The Joint Chiefs of Staffs said 4 F-15K fighters of South Korea and 4 F-16 jets of the US took part in the drills. In the bombing drills, a F-15K fighter jet fired 2 precision bombs at a target on the uninhabited Jigdo Island in the West Sea. Australia's central bank on Tuesday boosted its benchmark interest rates for a 6th month in a row to a 9-year high of 2.6%. The Reserve Bank of Australia's increase of a 0.25 percentage point to the cash rate was similar than those at recent monthly meetings. Unemployment is at a near 50-year low of 3.5%. The global economy is expected to grow 2.5% in 2022 and slow to 2.2% in 2023, according to a report released by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. The report said a slowdown in the global economy has affected all regions, especially the developing countries, where the average growth rate is projected to drop below 3%. More protests were held on university campuses in Iran on Monday, even as the country's top leader declared the disturbances to have been organized by the United States and Israel. Videos uploaded on social media and distributed by human rights activists showed students clapping and chanting slogans on various university campuses across the country. British Prime Minister Liz Truss said on Tuesday that her government was looking at long-term energy contracts with other countries but had not yet signed any contracts. Truss also refused to rule out cutting benefit payments by less than soaring inflation to help fund her tax-cutting growth plan in what is likely to spark the next political rebellion over her economic plans. And now let's see what's happening in the world of sports. South Africa has set a target of 228 for India in the third T20I underway at Indore. Riley Russo scored 100 of 48 balls. India have already won the series. Indian women registered third consecutive victory in Asia Cup. Batting first, India put up 178 for 5. Jemima Rodriguez and Deepti Sharma score half centuries. Indian bowlers restrict UAE at 74 for 4. India win by 104 runs. Jasprit Bumrah is gutted that he will have to miss the T20 World Cup due to a back injury. The BCCI on Monday ruled Bumrah out of the ICC event, dealing a massive setback to the Indian team. Pacer Kuldeep Sen finishes with a match haul of 8 wickets as the rest of India win their 29th Irani trophy with a walk in the park 8-wicket victory over the Saurashtra at Rajkot. Explosive middle order batter Shimron Hetmeyer has been replaced by Shamra Brooks for the T20 World Cup after Hetmeyer misses his rescheduled flight to Australia. Tennis superstar Nick Kyrgios will seek to have an assault charge against him dismissed on mental health grounds. Australian media reported this. And that comes to a wrap of this bulletin. The news. Stay tuned to Sansad TV for all the latest updates round the clock. Do share your feedback with us on our social media platforms. Thank you for watching. Good night. Namaskar.
No force